In early March in Hampshire County, the nights are still cold, but the days are warm. And just like the steady dripping of melting ice and snow, so too are the taps on the region's maple trees. Steam and smoke can be seen rising into the sky all over the Pioneer Valley. Follow it, and it might just lead you down Kennebrook Road in Worthington, where Jeff Mason, owner of the Red Bucket Sugar Shack, is hard at work stoking the fires of his boiler, which transforms gallon after gallon of maple sap into golden syrup. From humble beginnings in the late 60s, Mason and his family now use modern technology and have left all but one red bucket behind.
The reason we call it Red Bucket is because when we started out we were so poor we couldn't afford, new buckets, and so we go around to these old sugar houses and get leaky ones and we'd solder them.
Yeah.
But of course a lot of buckets were rusty, so we'd paint them red. And we used to have all, of course, red buckets up and down the road, but modern technology, of course, took over and we had to do the tubing. I mean, it's just, you couldn't find anybody who wants to gather buckets anymore.
That one lone red bucket is worn by Tom, the sugar maple tree, whose trunk is encompassed by Mason's pancake dining area. The rest of the red buckets have been replaced here and at other sugar bushes by miles and miles of plastic tubing. Simple sugaring boilers have been replaced by modern machines that use reverse osmosis to drastically reduce the sap to syrup ratio from roughly 40 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of syrup, to closer to 10 to 1. It's easy to pour syrup onto pancakes or waffles. Making it is another story, says Tom McCrum, owner of the picturesque South Face Sugar House in Ashfield.
But they asked me what a typical day was. I said a typical day is atypical. Because that really is the case. Because I come down here in the morning, the sap's running, I turn things on, I get them going. Something's not working right, I'm working on that, I got to start boiling. Somebody shows up to sell me sap, the phone rings, I got leaks out in the woods, I got to go fix tubing. Mail orders to fill, you name it.
Here, McCrum makes sure that his filter press is functioning properly after it broke down smack dab in the middle of an interview with GazetteNET.
Working now.
McCrum also keeps samples of each season's take from his sugar bush, which can vary in hue depending on the timing of the boil. Like all Pioneer Valley residents, Paul Zanoni of Paul's Sugar House in Williamsburg had to contend with a very snowy winter. It made for tough slogs through the woods, tending to miles of hoses and several hundred maple trees.
Well, it was really tough getting around. A lot of the main lines were under the snow, so we did a lot of shoveling, a lot of chainsaw work, and 4 feet of snow. And it took longer for the trees to thaw out. The roots didn't really thaw out, and the trees are frozen. I think some of the trees right now are frozen on the cold side. We're not getting our full runs yet, but getting close to it.
Maple season means backbreaking work for the producers, but for the rest of us, it's a sweet rite of passage for New England in the late winter and early spring. For Nate Godden, Six, and Dad Neil, it's a bit of a tradition and a means to keep their dollars flowing into the local economy. And that means another year of sustained business for Zanoni.
I stop, get syrup, and we come here every year and we just buy about 6 gallons syrup for a few friends of ours, some family. We've got some family in New York City that likes it and stuff like that, so been coming here for quite a few years now. So he also loves his waffles and pancakes.
Like the transition from winter to spring, sugaring season comes and goes quickly in the Pioneer Valley. It's kind of our own late-season version of the groundhog. When we see the steam rising toward the sky, we know that springtime, with its own sweetness, can't be far behind. For GazetteNet, I'm Noah Hoffenberg.